culture.
Yeah!
On three. 1, 2, 3. Move, bitch! Get out the way, bitch! Get out the way!
With just 8 months left in office, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has announced that she is not running for a second term. Since last year, Atlantans and ATLians alike have all been complaining about Mayor Bottoms' lack of knowledge and zest for the city, stating that they are not satisfied with what she has done within her term. One of the biggest quips that the African American citizens of Atlanta had was that she consistently utilized her celebrity relationships, such as the ones with rappers T.I. and Killer Mike, using this to appeal to popular culture. During Atlanta riots last year, Mayor Bottoms held a press conference in which the ATL hip-hop artist accompanied her. These partnerships have influenced opinions amongst the older generations that Mayor Bottoms encourages rugged behavior in the city. Relatively excited upon her election, I myself even made a blog post some time ago about Mayor Bottoms. However, soon after that, I began to hear complaints from citizens within the Atlanta area that Keisha was not doing her job. Aside from not being liked by constituents, there are a plethora of issues that have been assumed to have caused Mayor Bottoms great stress, like being diagnosed as COVID positive, or maybe the fact that she was sued by Governor Kemp, all because she wanted to require the wearing of face masks during the pandemic. Or maybe having angry protesters coming and showing up to her home. How about the increase in crime? That's just to name a few problems. However, if you were actually born in Atlanta, or if you have been here most of your life, you know the history. And when she was elected, you would have also assumed that she was placed in that position to help facilitate gentrification. Citizens who actually live within the Atlanta perimeter complain about Keisha's lack of competence, stating that yes, she is born and raised in Atlanta and she has attended the same schools as us. However, she hasn't had to endure the same struggles and lifestyles that we have. Keisha Bottoms has made history as the 6th Black mayor of Atlanta. In 1973, Mayor Maynard Jackson was the first. In 1982, we had Andrew Young. In 1994, Bill Campbell. 2002, Shirley Franklin. And in 2010, we had Kasim Reed. Not to mention all of the classist elitism in Atlanta and corporate monsters who have been running amok in our city. Just ride downtown, East Atlanta, Emmons Park, Midtown, and you will see what I'm talking about. Of course, gentrification is inevitable in metropolitan cities across the United States, and it's a relative subject. But, for example, areas like Kirkwood and East Point were predominantly white back in the day, going back to the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. But once Black people started becoming doctors, teachers, and lawyers and politicians, they were getting higher educations and, going off to college and coming back to their hometown of Atlanta, and they started buying properties. This resulted in white flight, where white people moved further out of the perimeter. Now, after the new millennium, it is reversing. Black people of higher economic status have been outside of the perimeter in suburban areas since the mid to late 90s, getting more bang for their buck. Now, there are some people who, of course, are disappointed and saddened to hear about Mayor Bottoms' decision. Many people think because of our current president that she had more of a chance of getting things done, hopefully, and that President Biden, would become an accomplice for her. Mayor Bottoms wrote a letter announcing her decision not to run for re-election. Now, it is a long letter, so for the sake of time, I won't read it, but I will leave it at the end of the video. In the letter, she did state that there were difficult circumstances for her, but she also noted triumphs that occurred during her time as mayor. This morning in a press conference, she said she hopes to be of some use to the next mayor without interfering in their work.
Is still important to me. The $1 billion goal, it's why we are already over $500 million there. All of those things still matter to me.
Once you leave office, in what capacity do you expect to help the city continue moving forward, particularly in those areas?
I will be available in any way that I possibly can without interfering with the next mayor's term. And unfortunately, that hasn't been the case always during my term. Elise is telling me stop talking. At least I am mayor until the first Tuesday in January, okay? As I was saying. I think when you walk forward, you can't walk forward with looking over your shoulder. So I will be available in any way I possibly can.
I have to say, I'm not really surprised by this news. There is a rumor going around that Mayor Bottoms has accepted a corporate level position in the private sector of Walgreens, which is definitely more pay than being a city mayor. I think she did an okay job as mayor. You know, she did what she could with the cards that she was dealt. Hopefully, the African American community within Atlanta will see some justice for everything that they felt they have been deprived of. Were circumstances contributing factors to the difficulty of Mayor Bottoms' time in office, or was she really just a pawn? According to Black Twitter, they are in a stir with all of these ill-assorted opinions on the city of Atlanta's future and mayoral race. The president of the Atlanta City Council, Felicia Moore, seems to have gained a very popular following, and she might just be our next African American mayor. This is your girl Jezebel, and thanks so much for watching. See you later.
Y'all just making up questions now, right? Okay. Thank you all.